and I will be speaking on detecting and exploiting cross-site scripting with OWASP Synodic XSS exploit framework. And a bit about myself. I'm an information security enthusiast. I'm 20 years old. I got no jobs, no company. I'm still a student. And I code in C++, .NET, Java, PHP, and Python. And I'm a strong supporter of free and open information security education. So that's why I run a website called Kerala Cyber Force. And I also run a small DEFCON chapter in Kerala to promote this. And I'm just another learner. So, what is XSS? I think everybody knows what's XSS. It's just a common vulnerability that exists in different web application, which allows an attacker to inject malicious codes into the web application. And later, this injected web application is presented to a victim, and this particular code will get executed in the browser side. So, if you look into the history of XSS, it was ranked among the top second in OWASP 2010, and now currently in 2013, its rank is gone to be down. That's on third rank. It's ranked third. Then this particular flow occurs in web application when the web application takes untrusted data and sends it back to the web browser without proper escaping and validation. So, if you are talking about XSS, some times ago it was not a deal. People think that it's a low rank, it's not a great vulnerability. Say SQL injection, LFI, RFI, SSI, etc. These are all vulnerabilities, and XSS is just script alert. So people always think that all the possibilities are phishing or cookie stealing or something like that. And later on, tools like Beef, XSS Tunnel, something like XSF and Shell of Future by Mr. Lavakumar, etc. changed the scene. So people started to understand that XSS is a real threat. Some of the some of the potentials of XSS are like tunneling, client-side code injection, DOS attacks, distributed DOS attacks, cookie stealing, then about malicious malware drive-by downloads, then phishing, etc. So what is OWASP Synodic XSS exploitation framework? This is it, and it's basically a penetration testing framework which is written in Visual Basic.NET, and its component is completely coded in C++ or Java. It can be used to detect and exploit cross-site scripting vulnerabilities in web application. It's divided into two parts. That is basically a first part is an XSS scanner. The next part comes with an XSS exploitation framework. So we'll look into the scanner module, and it is having inbuilt payload list of over 500 plus XSS payloads. And there are common XSS protection filters like using string replace filter, the HTML entities filter, HTML special characters filter, etc. So most of these weakly designed filters and WAPs can be bypassed with the inbuilt payload list. It's having almost 500 plus XSS payloads. And if you look into this, this is an interesting thing. This is the payload comparison of different commercial as well as freely available tools. You can see the payload count. And I believe it have the second largest XSS payloads. The first payload, the largest payload is with the IBM AppScan. It's having something about 700 payloads. 700 million payloads, which is artificially generated based on the scenario. And one of the features is the payload encoder. This particular thing supports encoding into different formats to bypass the firewalls and WAPs. Okay, let's have a look into the demo. So this was an XSS vulnerability that was found in the Lanes website, Lanes communication website. So for testing it, all you have to do is that just specify the URL you want to test, and you have to specify the parameter over there. After that, you can test in manual mode based on some time interval, or you can automate it. So if you are going with the automatic mode, then you can specify the time interval over there, and you can start the attack or start the scanning. So it will check all the payloads in the payload list one by one. There's almost 539 payloads. So that's it. So you got live response, and then one of the interesting feature of the third version is the XSS multi-parameter scanner. I will show it in a demo. So here is a, just a second. Sorry about that, it's not coming out in this resolution. So I'll just explain the thing. Yeah, so all you have to do is that you have to specify the URL with the multiple parameters there. So the tool will get all the parameters, individual parameters, and it will test all the parameters one by one. You don't have to take particular parameter and test it the one, and then you have to go to the next. You don't have to do like that. All the tool will automate everything. So it will grab all the parameters and it will test one by one. So that's about the multi-parameter scanner, and this is the fuzzer. So like suppose you want to fuzz around with the parameters, this one will be a great benefit for you, because you can just fuzz almost any part of the particular URL. Suppose you may want to detect some HTTP parameter pollution or something like that. So all you have to do is that you have to replace with the open bracket, capital X and close bracket to the particular area on which you have to fuzz around. So you can replace with this particular thing, and you can start fuzzing with the payloads there. So that's XSS fuzzer in the. And now we go to the exploitation framework. The first feature is the XSS keylogger. It's basically a JavaScript and PHP implementation keylogger, which the server is running on a PHP server, and a vulnerable web application is injected with the particular JavaScript, and whatever the victim types are whatever keystroke the victim made on that particular page will be stopped and sent to the PHP server for further processing. So you may look into the demo. So first I have to run the particular server on my IP. And I have to start the keylogger. So it will generate the scripts that can be injected. The basic purpose of the tool is not offensive. You can use this to create like proof of concept that is a bit more convincing to your clients. So this is a XSS vulnerability in Brothers of website. So I just injected the particular script over there. And you can see whatever I type in any particular text box, it doesn't need it to be a text box. Whatever you type over that particular document, over that web page, it will be there. It will be there in your console. You can see in the top. So whatever you type on the document, it doesn't need to be any username like login field or something like that. Whatever you type in that particular document will be there. So I just typed something like nullcon rock, so it's there. Okay, that's it. Now Another feature of the exploitation framework is drive-by downloader. It's nothing but it's just a Java drive-by download. Basically, what happens is that from the internal view, there is a particular web page which is embedded with a malicious jar file, and once the victim or the one visits that particular website, this particular client.jar file got executed, and that particular file can access your command prompt, and it will write down some codes and forms a winconfig.vbs, and this particular Visual Basic script will download which will fetch an executable from a remote URL and will download it to your temp directory, and it will execute it. So that's how it's done. So from the tools perspective, what you have to do is that you just need to mention the URL to the particular malicious or test executable, and after that it will generate the links just embedded in the application, and it will do the rest. I'll show you a demo. So here also I'm setting up a server in my IP. And I'm specifying the URL to the particular executable that should be downloaded in the drive-by. It will generate the scripts that you can inject. You can inject any of them based on the particular level of vulnerability, XSS vulnerability. And you can just inject our in the web application. So once it is given to the victim, and if he visits the website, actually this particular injectable code is for a refresh, meta refresh. So it will be the page will be redirected to the particular page which serves the drive-by download. And if the victim runs it, and this particular reversal does need some permission, so that's why it asks for UAC. And if we click with yes, then you will get back a reverse shell. So there goes the reverse shell. I mean, this it's not for the offensive way. If you can code it in some way like some reverse trojans that doesn't need any permissions, so that can be a little more stealth. But why I did is that because just for creating the POCs. So that's why. And next feature is XSS DDoSer. It basically harvests the power of HTML5. We have some components in HTML5 like the WebSockets and XML HTTP requests for the course or the cross-origin resource sharing. So what we're going to do is that we will exploit this, we will abuse this particular WebSocket, and we will create numerous WebSocket connections. And the same way, we will abuse the XHR objects, and we will create numerous GET requests with a fake parameter and a random value. And why we go with the fake parameter and random value is because suppose you make a XHR request to a particular website, and if the response header, say the access control allow origin, and that particular value is not configured properly. That means if the particular website or web server replace with a value called star in the access control allow origin, then it can accept course. Otherwise, if some domain or something is defined over there, it won't accept. The thing is that once your browser get a response, something say like it won't accept from this particular domain on which you are trying to initiate the attack, our browser will refuse to send further packets, further request. So what we're going to do is that to bypass that, we will be adding a fake parameter and a fake random value. So for that, we will be adding a fake parameter there, and with the math function, we will be doing some random values. So that's it, and this is a demo. This is not a distributed denial of service attack. This is just a DOS attack. It's done on my private site just for the testing purpose, and it's a low profile website. So that's why it's taken down in just it's a DOS attack. It's not a distributed attack shown in this demo. So you will know what is it capable of. This particular HTML scripts, HTML5 scripts. So you're starting the server, and I'll be mentioning the particular target. So you can inject this. The one side of this vulnerability is that suppose if this particular script is injected, if it is a reflected XSS, no, it's a persistent XSS, then the destruction that is caused by this one is great, because the victim is not knowing that he's doing some XSS attack, he's doing a DDoS attack. It's everything done in the background. So that particular script is executing, and after some time you can see that access to that particular site is temporarily denied due to some like high levels of concurrent traffic. So this is just a low profile website which doesn't holds a lot of traffic, a lot of requests. So that's for the demo on that. Then it's a cookie thief. I don't think nobody needs any introduction on that. It's all the similar way. And the features for the next build I'm thinking of is that for support, to give the support for Gecko and WebKit engines. Actually, I'm able to do like integrate this particular Gecko and WebKit engines. But the problem is that I'm coding in Visual Basic.NET. So at the compilation time, there is some problems, some reference problems and all. So I'm just still figuring it out. And the next version, there will be a support for testing access in the post parameters. Then testing for the headers for detecting the XSS, then automatic detection of the parameters rather than just giving it manually. Then detection of the third kind, that's a DOM-based XSS. Then an XSS proxy in the exploitation framework. So that's it. And XSS in a popular website is a high security threat. And this particular tool can be used by security analysts to hunt XSS and for creating their POCs. I mean convincible POCs, not just script.allowed. And most of the commercial tools are available either as scanners or just exploitation framework. And this one will act as both as a vulnerability scanner as well as an exploitation framework, and it is completely free. And there are a lot of tons of vulnerability reward programs like Google bug bounty programs, Facebook bounty programs, etc. So go for your XSS funding and grab your bounty. And one thing I would like to tell, this particular tool is recently selected as the Black Hat Europe Arsenal list, and I'm not sure I can make it. So that's it. And any questions?
Source code has been published for this tool?
Not till now. I will publish this on my birthday, that is coming May 31st.
Okay, one question I'm having is, I'm not sure, I was not able to attend the initial presentation.
Okay.
Is it having any way through which the XSS, the session of the website can be maintained through multiple websites? Like let's say OAS.org is vulnerable to XSS.
Yeah.
I had that website. I mean, I got the session.
Yeah.
Maybe Gmail. And if from OWASP I'm switching to Facebook.com through a link or something inside that OWASP only, is my session maintained?
No.
Okay, that will break.
That will break.
That will break. Okay.
Any more questions? Okay then. Thank you.
Thanks.